times by the Russian, and it didn't faze him, and he won. That was a shutout decision against.
It was a shutout. Certainly was.
Yeah. Zach Dunn is back in action. He lost his Commonwealth title to Brophy, and he has travelled to Mexico just recently and scored a win in Mexico, and he'll be back fighting very soon.
Yep.
Now, a well-rated fighter we've got in the super middleweight ranks is Jade Mitchell from Victoria.
Yep.
And he's rated WBC 12 and WBA 15.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good. Keep your eye on him. He's now 15-1. So we'll just have to keep our eye on him, mate.
Sure.
Another former world IBO champ is Ronald Quinlan.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to England and lost to Chris Eubank in 10 rounds. And since then, Chris Eubank has won the WBO world title.
Yep.
He will fight, Ronald Quinlan will fight King Davison.
That'll be a good
January the 17th.
Be a good fight, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, King Davison had a lot of fights in Australia, so
yeah.
It was looked after by Peter Matreski.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the middleweight ranks, mate, we've got Dwight Ritchie, who last week defeated Shane Brock over 10 rounds to win the IBF Youth World title. So keep your eye on Dwight Ritchie. He's a very clever fighter. He's been an OPBF champ, and he's only ever lost once, I think, and that was in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Another middleweight that's very impressive is David Toussaint from Canberra.
He's
now 12-0 with 8 KOs. He beat Shane Mosley Jr. on the Pacquiao Hornbill up there in Queensland, and looked very impressive. And since that fight, he defeated Liam Hutchison in Canberra.
Yeah, right.
Now, in the light middleweight ranks, we've got a well-rated fighter in the light middleweight ranks is Dennis Hogan from Queensland. And Dennis Hogan now is IBF 8, WBO 7. So he looks very good, Dennis Hogan. He beat the Japanese fighter Yuki Nanaga in October.
You did well to say that, Ray.
Yeah, a bit difficult at times. I think the Thai names are a bit more difficult. But anyway, mate, yeah, so keep your eye on Dennis Hogan. Very tough guy. He's had several fights in the USA, and he's been successful over there. The only guy he's lost to is Jack Colkay for the WBA world title, mate. That was back in 2015. Now, another light middleweight we've got to keep our eye on is Anthony Buttigieg.
Yes.
He won the Commonwealth title this year, and he beat the very classy Rocky Jogi, which, we've also got to keep our eye on, mate, because he's a class act, Rocky Jogi. So let's hope both those boys can move up into the world ratings.
Sure.
Another guy that I think you're talking to him today is Jamie Witch from Western Australia.
He's on next.
He's on next, okay. He's very special too. He's got 11-2 and record with 4 KOs. Now, in his last fight, he fought a very good fighter, Yao Yi Mao. Mm-hmm. Beat him on points, and that was a good win. So, Jamie Witch must be something special, mate, to beat Yao Yi Mao like he did. And guy that attracts a lot of publicity is Timmy Zhu, son of Kostya Zhu, who's now 7-0, 5 KOs. And in his first 10 rounder, he beat Wade Ryan in October, mate. And keep your eye on Timmy Zhu. He certainly looks good.
Well, it's a good fight. Timmy's just got an injured right wrist at the moment. He'll be back very soon, he says.
He looks a good foal, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
And very dedicated boy. Okay, mate. Where we got now?
You're going well, Ray. You're not missing. You haven't missed any.
Try not to, mate.
Winning the welders.
In the welterweight division, we've got our top guy, Jeff Horn, holding the WBO title, and let's hope he can hold that title for some time. But also, mate, this year, mate, we had Chris George winning the Commonwealth title in a fight against Jack Brubaker. And I think Chris George and Jack Brubaker, very close to world-class fighters. So a couple of more fights under their belts. Hopefully, mate, they'll move up into the world rankings. Yeah. Another guy fought in high up in world-class level and had a win last Wednesday, Lenny Zapovina.
Yep.
Lenny Zapovina staying active. Apparently, I think he's going to the States now, and he's going to have a fight in the States. You interviewed him last week, Paul.
Yeah, he was on the show 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And he looks like he's got plenty left. So
he certainly has.
Hopefully, Lenny Zappavina can pull it off, mate, and win a world title before he retires. In the light welterweight ranks, we got Michael Castides.
Yep.
He lost his last fight against Jamie Hill, but he's had quite a few wins recently. And Michael Castides, one of the great Australian boxers. Derek Foley, who fought on your show just recently, beat Ernie Sanchez.
Yes.
And he'll be in action on March 17th. I'm not sure who his opponent is. Another guy in the welterweight ranks is very popular, mate. Always attracts a sellout crowd. Is Val Ball, now 14-2 with 8 KOs. And his last fight, he beat Paltoon Chacon. That was way back in September. What's happening with Val Ball, Paul? Have you heard anything?
Not sure. I'm not sure what's happening with Val Ball, to tell you the truth. Not sure, mate.
Cesar Amundsen, the Filipino based in Australia, was KO'd. It was a big upset. He was KO'd in Melbourne by Carlos Patilla last October. So let's hope he can get back on the winning list. Now, one of the fighters we've got to keep our eye on, who I think could probably win a world title, is George Kambosos Jr.
I'd agree with you there.
You agree with that?
Yeah. George will beat them all, mate, in his own backyard.
He's very dedicated boy, mate. I know Juco events are very interested in him, mate. He's fought on the Joseph Parker undercards over there in New Zealand. So and he was a sparring partner to Manny Pacquiao. He was a chief sparring partner to Manny Pacquiao over there in the Philippines before he came out here. And another guy he boxed over in the States. He quite often goes to the States and trains with Justin Fortune. And the current IBF light welterweight champ, Sergey Lipinets, and George Kambosos Jr. Boxing. He's got a videotape of it.
Has he?
He more than held his own. George Kambosos against Sergey Lipinets, who's fighting Mikey Garcia next.
Okay.
So keep your eye on Georgie Kambosos. Get right behind him. But the guy that wants to get in the ring with him is another very good Australian fighter who you promoted, Kai McKenzie.
Yep.
Kai McKenzie now 18-1 with 15 KOs. He'll be back in action on January 17th. But he's keen to fight George Kambosos. So that'll be a big fight if it comes off.
True.
Now, in the super featherweight ranks, Billy Dibb, the former world champ.
Billy's back.
Billy's back. He's IBF number 3. So
that's great.
With the other organisations as well. So Billy's highly respected, being a former world champ, now fighting as a super feather, and he scored an 8-round points win over Kummat just recently. Another super feather we've got to keep our eye on is former Olympian Paul Fleming, who I think has signed up with Top Rank.
I'm sure he has.
Signed up with them previously, And he fought last Wednesday and scored a good win. He's now 25-0.
That's right.
KOs. He scored a TKO 7 over Virgil Puton. So let's hope he can get some regular fights, Paul Fleming, because he looks like he's the goods, mate.
He does.
But the guy that fought last Wednesday, who really stood out, was IBF's number 7, Nathaniel May, featherweight.
Oh, yeah.
Western Australia. Doesn't he look good?
He looks good.
He's got it all. He fought a very good South American fighter, Aurelio Mesquita, and he scored a 5-round victory, mate. Now, he looks like he's got everything. He's looked after by and trained by Peter Stokes.
Yep.
Peter Stokes has done a terrific job with him, mate. So
he certainly has.
I predict he's a very big... He threw out a challenge to the world champ, Lee Selby. And so I would think, mate, Juco will probably get behind Nathaniel May.
I'd say they would.
Up the ladder and get him that shot at the world title.
I did ask Peter Stokes to come on the radio, but he's a bit shy, mate, he said. So we'll get him on another time.
He's a very nice guy, mate. He really gets behind his fighters, mate, especially Nathaniel May. Another guy, mate, very good from Tasmania, Luke Jackson.
Yes.
6 KOs.
Good guy to go with it.
Yeah, another champion guy. He's a former Olympian.
He is.
So he, in his last fight, mate, beat Humberto Santiago.
Yeah.
That was last September. So let's hope he gets his opportunity, mate. Luke Jackson. Also, fighting next Wednesday in an IBF eliminator, TJ Doheny.
Yes.
And he'll be fighting an opportunity to fight for the IBF title. If he wins next Wednesday, he become the IBF Band-Aid challenger for the world title. And so let's hope he does well over there in Thailand.
Well, they've gone already, Tony Del Vecchio and TJ. They're there. They've gone more than a week beforehand.
You've been talking to him, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah, they went, when they go, they went earlier on in the week, which is good. So they mean business. When a fighter goes to another country early, they mean business, don't they, Ray?
Well, I think
get acclimatised.
You've got to, mate, because of you've got to try and get used to that heat, because it's so hot over there, mate.
It certainly is.
You spent a lot of time in Thailand, mate, so you know all about that.
Yeah, it's very hot over
also,
there.
mate, we've got the Super Bantam from Victoria, Jason Maloney, 15-0 KOs, WBA rated.
Yep.
So Jason Maloney looks like he could be a future world champ, mate. He's got some good victories on his resume. And so keep your eye on Jason Maloney. He's been brought along very well down there in Melbourne. And his twin brother, Andrew Maloney, is also WBA rated. He's also got a 15-0 record, and he's got 10 KOs. Another fighter we've got to look at, as trained by our three-time world champ, Jeff Fleming, is Brock Jarvis. Brock Jarvis now 12-0, 11 KOs. He scored a one-round knockout over Wichit Singapang.
Last Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah, December 2nd, they said.
Yeah, last week. Yeah, he looks the goods, doesn't he?
Yeah. So, Paul, that's basically a roundup, mate, of our Australian fighters, mate, that are right up there.
Yeah, you got them all, Ray. You got them all. There's three standouts there for me. Brock Jarvis, George Cambazes and Bill Alakaway. They stand out all from Sydney as well. I don't know, they just stand out to me. These three will go on and fight for a title and beyond.
So, as you know, Paul, being a promoter and one of Australia's leading promoters, you've been promoting now for 8 years, Paul, is that right?
Yeah, 9 actually, coming on for 9, mate.
Years, and mate, you've done a fantastic job. And it's a very tough game, Paul, and no one will know that better than you, mate.
You've had a go at it, Ray, back in your day, haven't you?
But it's as
the band club at St Mary's.
The other promoters in Australia have known too, mate. It's a tough game.
It certainly is. You've got to be MAD to do it, Ray. As you know, you had a go at it at St Mary's Band Club quite a long time ago, and I don't think that it's ever been packed that night that you did a show there back in the early 80s.
It's the biggest audience attendance they've ever had. They said.
Yeah. Wow.
The previous highest draw card down there was at a political meeting they had down there with Gough Whitlam. But
your show
down there, Rossi and Kelly Thompson, and they broke the record down there, mate.
I should be asking you for some tips.
On the card, we had Jeff Malcolm boxing.
Yeah.
We had 2 footballers boxing. We had Russell Sands boxed Roy Alexander. So, mate, it was a big night. It's going way back, Paul. Glad you brought that one up, mate.
Yeah.
But you're our man now, mate. You're promoting so regular here in Sydney, mate. And you always put on a great show, mate. And it's great to see you get behind guys like Bilal Akaway that certainly deserve it, mate. And I think that Bilal, especially, is going to go all the way, mate. He's going to make a lot of people happy.
He certainly is. I've got to say, all promoters right across Australia, they're putting on good shows. We're doing our best.
Angelo Di Carlo up there in Queensland, mate. We've got Peter Maniatis down there in Melbourne, Brian Amatruda. Another guy I want to mention is Stuart Duncan. Mm-hmm. Stuart Duncan's doing a great job. He's the matchmaker for Duco.
For Duco, yep, correct.
He put those Aussies on the card up there on Wednesday, and previously on the guys on the Pacquiao Hornbill. So we've got to say thank you to Stuart Duncan, doing a great job. And Stuart was the guy that got behind Sammy Solomon, and Sammy's one of our Australian greats who won the world middleweight title.
Okay, Ray, we'll cut it there, mate. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Still got to fit in Jamie Weech if he answers, and Brendan Smith.
Oh, great work, Paul. Okay, Paul, keep up the good work, son.
You have yourself a good weekend, Ray, and we'll talk soon.
We'll catch up soon, Paul.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paul. Bye-bye.